So you talked very eloquently about a very innovative technology and product you're bringing to market and the impact that it has and the story. These are all parts of the success equation. If you had to balance as a CEO and you're saying, I have to move forward with a little bit less than what I want in terms of the optimal high performance team, but I have the best innovative technology that I want. Where's the balance? Is it more important to have a 10 out of 10 on the people with like a 7 or 8 out of 10 on the technology?
I think that's a little bit of an unfair question because like a high performance team can improve the technology to get to where you need to be. So I will always lean on team more so than anything else. You could fix the technology with good team members. Poor team members or a mediocre team with great technology is going to be a mediocre company.
That's what I was looking at. Thank you. What we're trying to do here is we're very, very focused on the HR side of the business in this podcast. And as an industry, HR is pretty much looked upon and recruitment as a support function in the business. Yet we spend so much time trying to bring in the right high performers that the majority of the people in the HR industry kind of feel like they have a hard time getting a seat at the table, yet tasked with bringing in and fueling what is the number one growth strategy in any business is the people. What is the role of, in your organization, or just your point of view? Does HR have a seat at the table? Does it deserve to have a seat?
So our HR person is one of my key right-hand individuals. So, with the lens of team is super important. I'm constantly monitoring what's our recruiting process to make sure that we bring in the right people. And part of it's analyzing skill set, part of it's analyzing fit. And fit, I would say, would tie very closely with culture. So I spent a lot of time with our head of HR on the recruiting side. Equally is we have a responsibility just because we recruit somebody. Now it's our responsibility to make sure that the person is positioned well to succeed. And so the onboarding process, what does our training look like? I've seen too many companies, even larger companies, where there's not really adequate training so that somebody has to just kind of look over somebody's shoulder to figure something out. And I think being very clear, what a 60, 90-day onboarding process. It should be very prescriptive. And then once you have that foundation laid, then that person can then flourish. But we owe it to every individual to make sure that they're positioned to succeed and not having to guess at it. Defining the success parameters is important, and each department needs to define that for each of the different roles that we're bringing on board. And so we're very mindful of that. And then the ongoing culture surveys that we do twice a year to make sure that we're not just guessing, are we doing a good job for our people or not? And so we do that in a very quantitative way across the entire company. And then we dial in kind of our analysis at the departmental level to make sure that each department's also healthy, because you can have 3 high functioning departments and you have 3 ones that aren't, and you can just lose sight of the fact that we're missing half the company on this journey. So we want to make sure that across the board, we're performing at a high level. And look, I hold our department leads very accountable, and ultimately me very accountable to making sure that we're consistent across the board. So it's really a holistic view of making sure that on the people side of things, we're really working well.